continue the last topic in sports, Jake Paul has offered Dana White a deal, basically a plan. This is the plan. He posted it on his Twitter, and it's in his notes, and it reads almost like a bet, I guess, or like what do you call it? Like a ultimatum. Like this is what we want. I want you to do, right? He told Dana White, which is the president of the UFC. For those who don't know, Dana White and Jake Paul is now his one of the biggest, if not the most famous boxer in the world. Who would have thought it, right? YouTube return, mega boxer. Increase minimum fighter pay for the UFC fighters is what he told Dana White. Number one, increase it to 50,000. Right now, it's currently at 12,000. So he wants fighters to get paid more in the UFC. That's one thing. Guarantee the UFC fighters 50% of the UFC annual revenues. The UFC made $1 billion in 2021. So he's looking at facts and shit. He's looking at facts. He's getting his numbers right.
That's a lot of
Statistics are right.
money, bro.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. They
Fifty
made a
percent
lot
of
of money.
one bill.
That's another thing. A lot of these promises might be far fetched. 50% of $1 billion, that's $500 million. So then that would mean that all the fighters get that $500 million. That's impossible. No one's getting it.
Come on,
That's
bro.
not happening, bro. And even the biggest fighter, McGregor's not even fighting right now. So that's so. And these fighters, if they don't all come together and like stand out, if they're okay with getting paid what they're getting paid with, then it's not really Jake Paul's place to come in and try to change shit. But I get it. He's trying to be, he's trying to bring up, he's trying to make people talk about it like we are. Like he's trying to
Right, right,
bring
right.
attention to himself. Number three, provide long-term health care for all fighters. You previously said that brain damage is a part of the gig. Imagine the NFL saying that. There are many UFC alumni who publicly said they're suffering from brain damage. I do agree with that one.
Yeah.
The UFC should definitely provide long-term health care for all the fighters before and after their careers, even when they retire. Maybe let's say
100%.
they have to fight 2, 3 years. You can do something like that. But if they fight for 2, 3 years, give them the health care for the rest of their life because you guys have the money to. That's not. It doesn't have to be top of the line healthcare. Give them at least the minimum, right? Guaranteed. And he told Dana White, you have 5 days to accept this and implement it by March 31st. Once you do this, I'll retire from boxing and I'll become um, a part of the UFC and I'll fight Jorge Masvidal. And he said to all UFC fighters, it's time to take a stand, blah, blah, blah. Basically saying what I told you right now. Like he wants fighters to come together type shit,
Right,
right?
right, right.
Form a union, like back him up, but also back themselves up. Make him not sound dumb, or sound wrong. Now Dana White responded, and Dana White said basically no. Like I made a bet with you, which was get tested for steroids because I think you're taking steroids because he says that Dana White does crack cocaine. So he's like, Dana, get tested for coke, like get tested. And then Dana was like, well, no, I've been telling you, let's get tested, let's have you tested every time you fight, or like let's do testing sporadically. Like let me test you for steroids. And I
Yeah.
guess Jake Paul hasn't necessarily agreed to that. But now he did tweet like, I'll do it, blah blah blah, right? But then this is just like a big back and forth that might just lead to nothing. Like it's just attention for both sides because Dana's not gonna do this shit that he wants him to do. That's so too much. Maybe if you just said one of them,
Half a
you know,
bill, bro.
half of that's not realistic,
Come
bro. Not
on.
right now. If they were generating like $5 billion a year, then maybe, But $1 billion a year, half a bill, that's not happening. That's half of their. That's not gonna happen.
No.
That's not realistic. I think obviously it should happen, but you can't like that's not. I don't even think like in the league, NFL or NBA. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that's the case. That because they generate way more money than they pay people. They do pay people a lot. Like they'll be like a bum, quote unquote bum in the NBA, and they'll get paid like 120 million. Like what the fuck? You'll be like, what? People get mad all the time, but it's because they have so much money and they can do it, and they want to guarantee the players to stay on the
Right.
team. So they overpay them, right? And they try. Sometimes they believe in the future, but sometimes it's proven wrong. Like look at Ben Simmons now. Like he got paid so much, and look what's happening. Like you never know what can happen. So this is crazy. Jake Paul again after the knockout, now back in the public eye with another controversial topic and controversial headline. Now I do think it'll be interesting to see him fight in the UFC. I want to see that happen. I want to see him get knocked. He'll get knocked the fuck out. If he goes to UFC, that's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. Because in boxing, it hasn't happened, but he hasn't necessarily faced a boxer.
Bro, in UFC, he gets fucking kicked, bro. Fucking done.
Bro, he can even do it with the people he's already faced. So who was the Tyron Woodley? He could do Tyron Woodley third rematch, but in the UFC. Ooh,
Yeah.
but it's not happening though because that's why Floyd Mayweather was gonna supposedly do it, but that's why these people aren't. Then none of them are doing it because listen,
You're getting knuckles in the UFC, bro.
it's a different level. It's real fighting. It's like you're punching skin to skin. Well,
Yeah.
they have gloves, but come on, those are like condoms. They're
It ain't
very
no
thin.
boxing gloves.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're thin enough. They're probably thick enough, obviously, to not produce like as much damaging cuts as you can. But I think the real intention is to protect the people's bones, their hands, more than the person's face.
Bro,
Because in the UFC, they get fucked
even
up
if
no
they
matter what.
got gloves, bro, you're getting kicked.
Because Jake got his fucking forehead cut open like a vagina
Yeah.
with the boxing glove. So imagine in the UFC.
Getting
Imagine in the UFC.
fucking picked up and slammed, getting thrown against a fucking fence. Come on. You're gonna
Bro,
eat shit, bro.
yeah.
Anyone will eat shit. I will never do UFC, bro. I told you I was like, I'll do. They tell me I'm gonna pay you, go get knocked out first round boxing, do it. UFC, hell no.
Hell no.
Probably gonna pass away. Hell no.
Yeah, that shit ain't happening, man. That's
Not
that's
doing
um
it, bro. Not
that's a
doing it.
tough one. That's a tough one, man. And to like guarantee that it's like and it would have to be like weird like stipulations. Like I'm pretty sure like will he go all the rounds? Like it'll be crazy. Like that would be crazy.
Hell,
Like bro,
come on.
a lot of UFC fights end in one round. That's more common in UFC than in boxing. Like I think Conor McGregor had that fast. I think the fastest knockout of all time. He knocked someone out like in a couple seconds, like right away. Like it's like that could happen in UFC, bro. Not in boxing. If you get lucky, maybe yeah, you hit someone in the temple right away. But reality is in UFC, that's more than likely to happen. So now we have Jake Paul, and he's definitely like if you look at his bio, literally his bio on Twitter it says I'm ready, Dana. DM for address. Like he's literally waiting for this guy's response. He tweeted today, 3 days left on my offer, Dana. I'll retire from boxing forever. You're running out of time. And then yesterday, you're 4 days left for my offer, Dana. Waiting for you to accept and yes and send over the contract. Dana and Floyd should be best friends. They don't pay anyone. He's still like coming at people. Oh, because yeah, Logan Paul did allege that Floyd Mayweather didn't pay him yet for the fight, supposedly. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't pay, which makes no sense to me. He's like, what the fuck? How do you not get paid from that fight yet? Like, what the
I
hell?
doubt.
That probably was a bigger fight than the Jake Paul fight. Like, what the hell? And also, to end the topic, it is like so there's a rumor going around. I don't know if you saw it. So Jake Paul supposedly only sold, they're saying 59K pay-per-view buys, some crazy number like that. He's
Oh,
denying it.
that's why Dana was like, "Oh, like you're doing this shit because you can't sell pay-per-views and you want to fight Mr. Pay-per-view."
Exactly. So that's what he's saying. That's what he's using against him. It's like this rumor that's going on because I believe um one of his fights generated. I think the first Woodley fight generated like half a what? No, like 500,000 pay-per-view buys, something like that, like half a million, something like that, like a crazy number. But then he's saying like this one didn't do that high, but it did high. Supposedly he said, right? I don't know, man. I don't think it did that low. That's a low ass number. I think that's some like clickbait, fucking bullshit that they do, to like create headlines, rumors. But I don't think if it's not that high, like half a million, then it's
Mm-hmm.
probably what 200,000. Who knows? This fight wasn't as anticipated because it was supposed to be with another fighter, Tommy Fury, the actual boxer. So then he backed out because of what happened to him, his eye, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we had Tyron Woodley. No one really wanted that fight again. They wanted it, but not now. Maybe like a planned, properly promoted one. But then the knockout made the fight bigger. So even though he didn't sell that much pay-per-views, this fight, the knockout, the highlights, all that shit generated more promotion than any one of his fights. Maybe all of them just combined because that knockout was crazy. It was bigger than the Nate Robinson shit. The Nate Robinson shit was big, but this shit was bigger. This shit was bigger. This shit was everywhere. The Nate Robinson shit was big though. That shit was big. I ain't gonna lie though. That Nate Robinson shit was big. That
Uh,
was a big meme.
yeah, like the memes.
The memes, man. So, there we have it. What will happen? I do not know. But I guess let's just keep waiting to see these fights happen, and let's keep watching men knock each other out because that's what we like. We like violence. Why not? I don't see why not. I guess. So there we have it. Comment down below, how do you guys feel about Jake Paul? Is he the ultimate villain right now in the culture? And does he even, do you guys know him as a YouTuber or not? I feel like a lot of people probably know him as a boxer now more than he ever was a YouTuber. Like this career has been like even bigger. Like his YouTuber career has almost been erased. Like you had to kind of know about that to know about it. Like the Team 10 and his brother and all that shit that they did years ago. This shit has blown it out the water. It's pretty crazy.
They gon' love me for my ambition.